welcome back to CVM at Sunrise. Now, Stevie Lowling is here this morning, and he's going to talk to us about the African Community League business established by Cafe, as well as one such local business operating under the banner. We're going to call that one Cafe Africa, and it's the first authentic African cuisine restaurant right here in Jamaica. And it is going, like, I can't even tell you right now what I'm smelling here in the studio. I'm smelling all these really great aromas. We're talking about 25 dishes from over 18 African countries served in Cafe Africa. And Steve joining us this morning, as well as Chef Prince. You gotta pronounce the last name for me.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You're from Nigeria. So,
I have to say with the African accent.
okay, you have to do that.
Yeah.
From Nigeria. From Nigeria. I could do that. Okay, I lost all that accent, but never mind that. Good morning, guys. I'm looking at interesting food in front of me.
Yeah, making me hungry too.
Some that looks familiar, some not so familiar looking. What's here?
Well, I like how you said something so familiar, because what we try to do at Cafe Africa, I mean, Africa is a big place, 54 countries. We do 25 dishes, as you said, from over 18 countries. So we're really representing about a third of the continent. But we made sure that we had dishes from every quadrant. So North Africa, South Africa, East, West, and Central Africa. And we chose recipes and dishes that we thought would be familiar to the Jamaican palate. Because even though we're a country 90% African descendant, you can't find an African restaurant anywhere, right? People say spaghetti, they know what they're talking about. Lasagna, they know what they're talking about. Chop suey, they know what they're talking about. But if I came now and I told you, well, matoke, kukupaka, palava, irio, dongo dongo, you say, what are you talking about, right? Now, these are dishes from all over Africa. We have displayed here, this is palava, Liberian palava.
Okay.
You know Liberian holds a special place, and we're talking about UNIA and Marcus Garvey. It's a spinach and bitter leaf, basically greens with beef fillet cooked with vegetables. A lot of dishes in Africa are very soupy and saucy because we tend to eat them with fufu or ugali or any of these starches that you sort of eat with your hand. When you come to Cafe Africa, it's about communal eating. So we put everything in front of you, you gather as a family, and you eat together. So the soup and the sauce is there so that you can soak it up with your starch, roll it up into your little ball, pop it into your mouth.
All right.
We have kukupaka, which is from Kenya. It's really curry chicken because, of course, the east side of Africa had a lot of Indian influence, as much as Jamaica did. It's a coconut curry chicken, but we give it to you in the Swahili name, which is kukupaka.
Okay.
Matoke is a plantain stew that's over here, which is the national dish of Uganda. They sometimes cook it with meat, whether beef or chicken. We choose to do it at Cafe Africa without the meat because we want to make sure that we have some vegetarian options.
Okay.
One of the misconceptions when people think about African cuisine is that, oh, you mean Ital, you mean Rasta?
Exactly.
No, we mean authentic African from the continent. And of course, if you've been to Africa, or if you're familiar with the African culture, yes, we have vegetable dishes, we have vegetarian dishes, but we're also a meat-eating people. A lot of beef, a lot of chicken, a lot of fish. We don't do any pork there. And I didn't find a lot of pork dishes in Africa, surprisingly. So that's an ancient thing that we go back to. It's a plantain stew, though, matoke, which is cooked not in the way that we know plantain, fried or baked, but actually stewed with peppers, onions. Yes, it's a great option if you're a non-meat eater. And if you're a meat eater, it's a great side dish.
Okay.
We have beside that now from Central Africa,
which looks familiar.
Representing the Congo, is the famous dongo dongo. From the Congo. Dongo is actually a region in Congo. And what is historic about this dish is that if you've ever heard of gumbo, the Americans talk about gumbo and Louisiana. Well, dongo dongo is the African ancestor of gumbo because a lot of enslaved Africans who ended up in Louisiana, which was the French quarters of America before America purchased it, came from Francophone Africa. Congo, Democratic Republic of Congo, as we know, was colonized by the Belgium and the French, who had French influences. So it is a saltfish and okra stew. Now we know saltfish and okra, we eat it for breakfast, but this one is a little bit more saucy, a little bit more gooey, so when you dip in the fufu, it sticks to your fufu and it sticks to to your palate. You know what I mean?
Chef, I'm gonna bring you into this because you're from Nigeria, but the exposure to all these different fruits from all the different regions, how would that have happened for you?
Well, you know that Nigerians were the most popular black nation in the world, almost 200 million. So all African dishes supposed to report in Nigeria. So we eat variety of African foods and we prepare them. So when I came to Jamaica, I went to college here, I moved with the entertainment industry. So it's been about food and culture and the people. So my auntie them, Miss Link, they started producing things she was Sister B in Portland. So we've been in the food business since I come to Jamaica. So when you and I come with the concept of Cafe Africa, it was the right opportunity because I was the right person to have the show, so I have to come into it. So that is how I come to this.
There's a food movement, there's an eating out culture that's developing more and more in Jamaica.
Yes.
And this is going to be something that's new, that's novel, that people wouldn't have experienced before. When I come to Cafe Africa, food is a part of the experience.
Yes.
What else is there?
There's wines, there are coffees. We do a very unique dessert, which we call chocolate sugar cane. And we do everything with meaning. So when we say our dessert is chocolate sugar cane, we write in the menu reflecting the bitter, sweet history of Africans in the Caribbean. So you know we're brought here to cut sugar cane. Well, we turn it around and we do it different. A lot of our South African featured part of the cuisine is focused in our wine.
Your mind goes immediately to red wine from South Africa.
Yes, Golden Corn is a good one.
Absolutely.
South Africa produces a number of great vintages. We also have a traditional Ethiopian honey wine, which is the drink of the kings and queens. And in fact, this Friday and this Saturday, we'll be having an African food festival, which is in fact a celebration of the 82nd anniversary of the coronation of Emperor Haile Selassie I and Empress Mene, something that the UNIA supports every year. This year we thought we would fittingly call it a culinary coronation. So for 2 days, for as low as a nanny, we're a big up nanny too, you can come and get a taste. You can come and get a taste of everything that we have on the menu from all regions of Africa. And I would suggest that while you're there, you indulge in our tej. Tej is the Amharic word for honey wine, and this is something that we make locally at the cafe with Jamaican honey.
Exactly where it is, because I'm going to roll out with a couple of my friends and come and experience some of this African food. So tell me what.
Well, we said coronation, yes. Right? So fittingly, we're located in Regal Plaza. We're very regal, you know what I mean? We're on the corner of Ripon Road and Eureka Road. We're next door to Veggie Meals on Wheels, which is also another business under the African Communities League, run by the chaplain and his wife. No.
The hands wash and
the hands wash. All right. You take a piece of your food there. Yes. You take a piece. I don't know if you want to eat it. You can't manage the whole ball one time. Right.
small piece.
Good. Now you flatten it out in the hand.
Yeah.
So you make a kind of like a little ball, and then you scoop up a piece of your palava there. Alright, yes, don't be afraid, get your hands there and there, take a taste of that.
How about this dinner, man?
Liberia. But we brought it to Jamaica now, right?
Absolutely delicious.
I'm gonna try it.
And I'm not kidding. This is great.
Right, we also have coffees from Africa, from Kenya, from Ethiopia, from Tanzania. We do a number of events, so we are available for people who have African-themed events and need to be catered to. 828-4144 is our number. We're also on Facebook, Cafe Africa JA.
I want you to price it for me, because a part of the eating out experience for a lot of people is pretty pricey.
Yes, and we all know about Restaurant Week coming up, but we preempted them by keeping our culinary coronation, and you can't beat $500. I don't even see that anywhere in Restaurant Week. What we've tried to do at Cafe Africa is to keep our price range within the reach of the quote-unquote common man, because we don't want African cuisine to be something that is exclusively for the rich and the wealthy. We want everybody. Our motto at Cafe Africa is a taste to remember. It has a dual meaning because the food is so good that you will not forget it. But it's also signifying that we must remember where we come from and who we are. So our prices range from as low as $400 and it don't go higher than that.
Wait again. Where is it?
Regal Plaza, corner of Eureka and Eureka Road. We're open Mondays to Saturdays, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. We have a food festival kicking off on Friday and Saturday from 8 to 8. $500 comes out.
Promise me that I won't come in here and hear Casey and Jojo and some. I'm coming in there to hear African.
Tell them what they hear when they come there, Chef.
Listen, when you come to Cafe Africa, strictly African music, and you hear the great fella, all of the great musicians in Africa.
GG,
And so,
Afro.
Loving it.
I don't have on. Thanks so much, Stephen Golden. Thanks so much. And Prince Okia.
Yes,
Thanks so very much, my friend. I don't have on a mic, so I have to be speaking in yours, all right?
I was
that's what they
wondering.
say.
All right, I have to speak in your mic because I don't have on none.
It didn't look
All right, yeah, all right. Lloyd Loving there, speaking of Africa, my good friend, Lloyd Loving there, he's over there, and guess what? Lloyd Loving there is going to perform for us this morning, the great man himself, the legend. Sorry, I'm not going to keep on in the mic again. I rather like it.